My name is William. I'm a Singaporean. Why I have to reintroduce myself today? Because I know I have not been in Philippines for a very long time. And there are many, many new faces today. So, actually, I started in Philippines. So just 1.5 years ago, Riway decided to open Japan. And I think I would like to challenge this country. So I left Philippines, and I remember last year, May, I was one of the speakers. I thought that will be my last chance to speak in Philippines. And I did mention that, that will be my last. I cannot understand today. I'm so happy to come back again. I think my good friend, James, my good GM, James, would like me to come back Philippines very often. Just to share some of my story before I come into the topic I'm supposed to talk. I just wonder, today at the look, at least a few thousand people are here. Majority of you come here because you want to learn. But I'm very sure, maybe a few of you inside here, someone forced you to come here. Is there anyone? Maybe your girlfriend, because you are in love, so whatever she say, you have to follow the instruction. If you are one of them that was being forced, you don't like network, you don't like all this, and being forced to sit down here, and you don't know what is going on, I congratulate you. Because I was one of them in 2015. At that time, I'm after Diane Jemaang, so I need to cooperate with her because she told me so many good things about Riway, and I attended in a seminar, LTS, exactly like this. That was about 5,000 people. I went there with my Mickey Mouse t-shirt and my shorts and slipper in a Singapore 5-star resort. So what happened was, when I stepped into the venue, majority of them are wearing suits. So I find myself very awkward. And I decided to sit right at the back because no one can see me. But the thing is, usually, those who sit in front are those people who are very eager to learn something. Those people who sit at the back, majority of them, maybe you are not in the group proper attire like me in 2015, or those people don't really excited with the event. So just when the first speaker start to talk, my thinking start to change. Hey, this is something it have never happened. Before that, I did join other network talk, and I get so bored because everyone talking on the stage are so professional. By one look, I know they are very professional. They are trained to be a speaker. But in 2015, when I joined Riway, what I saw is ordinary people standing on the stage, like taxi drivers, barbers, and so on. That actually inspired me. In fact, at that time, a lot of speakers, they can't really talk so well on stage. But the thing is, these are ordinary people who actually achieve it. Although they cannot talk so well on stage, but they are the actual person who achieve this. That inspired me because at that point of time, I think I'm just an ordinary person. If an ordinary person can achieve something, I think I will have stand a chance. If only this business is open for those who are well-trained or well-educated, and they can become successful in this country, I don't think I will stand a chance. So that makes me very alert during the whole training program. 2 hours later, I look around my side. Most of them are already sleeping. Even one of them are snoring. I say, why is it such a good event? Why they come here to sleep? I don't understand. Why I get so inspired, but they don't share. Well, in this career, in this line, there is no requirement for you to come here. Riway never set a requirement to let you join as a. You don't have to be a professor to join Riway. Today, maybe this evening, there's someone which is a street hawker. He joined Riway. So there is no criteria. Anyone can simply become a member. But today, if we want to talk about success, if we want to win in this career, there is some requirement you need to fulfill, which is very important. Riway have been talking about NDO since the first day I joined. And I heard from some of the top leaders, it's not since 4 years ago. It's even when the first day Riway start, Mr. Lim already tell everyone, NDO is very important. So until today, 11 years later, we are still talking about NDO. That shows that how important is NDO. If you try to skip this, and you think you will be successful, you are wasting your time. A lot of people say, William, you pick up this skill so fast. I'm not, as I say, I'm a very ordinary person. I'm not born to speak on stage. But I remember before the first customer I met, I already watched NDO 4 times. That is how serious, because today when you close down a business, and if you ask me, at that point of time, am I very confident I will achieve something in Riway? I think the percentage is very low, honestly. Not like today. Today, you see a lot of things. You see the successful leaders, you see Riway event, and so on. The day when I believe Riway, I only see Diane Jamer. That's all. I have nothing to see. And sometimes I see James. They don't fly to Philippines so often, maybe once in a month only. So let me tell you honestly, the day when I decide to join, I think the chances of being successful in Riway in my heart is 1%. Only 1%. Definitely today, what you are seeing now is much, much more than 1%. But why I will try to give up my coffee shop and choose this 1%? I always think that everyone requires a chance. The difference between the rich and the poor or the ordinary is the rich person have a business and the poor or the ordinary have a job. So, and the rich person have a very good mindset. The poor person have a poor mindset. That is the only difference between the rich and the poor. I always believe in that. So, for ordinary people to own a business, it is quite impossible. And network, especially Riway, make it so possible for us. That's why there are so many Filipinos sitting down here today. Criteria. Mr. Lim designed this NDO according to a person. From outside into inside. The deeper it goes, the more important it is. It starts from a person outlook. Okay? And then it goes to the way you think and the way you feel, and finally, the spirit you have, the actual thoughts you have. So today, for some people, how you look Actually, it doesn't matter. You can be fat, you can be good looking, you can be thin, you can be short. It actually doesn't matter so much. But the way you think, it starts to become important. Because the deeper you go, the more important it is. Whether you think these thoughts, the way you feel about how you make decisions, it becomes more and more important. And the third is emotion. Today, one of my topics is on these four requirements that you should have. We need to change. Like 2015, I never believed that one day I will be wearing suits so often. Today, when I open my cabinet, most of my clothes are all suits. And I remember last time when I opened my cabinet, I have a lot of fancy clothing. Even some of my pants look like pajama. Of course, some people will think, why should we require a good professional looking? Because we are in network business, especially the product we are selling now is a very high-end product. We don't sell coffee powder here. We don't sell other grocery here, but we sell stem cell here. It's a very, very special and unique product. You might compare yourself to other company. They know, William, look at other networkers. They wear jeans, they wear this, they appear on TV with T-shirts and so on. Well, that is others. Today, when you look at the news or you look at the international news, look at those presidents, how they wear. It is very necessary for you to wear a proper image. When do I feel this actually important? Actually, when I started Riway, I was told to wear like this. So I forced myself to wear. But inside myself, I don't really convince. Image are so important. Until one day, when I walk around with a team of mine, all wearing like this on the street. And everyone start looking at us. I say, that is the first time I felt image are so important. Do you recall, sometime when you go to the airport, when you look at those air crew, they are always very disciplined, 100% duplication. They carry the same luggage. And when they move together, they look so great. So when I'm young, I'm like you too. I always like to look at the stewardess. So, because we have nothing to do at the airport. So sit down there. So always among my friends, we compare the airline crew. Well, Singapore airline, much better. That airline. So we always talk like this. So it was when one day a group of us wearing this suit and we start to move at the airport, they start to look back at us, the crew, and not even the crew, the other passengers. I think tonight a lot of people will be flying to Cebu. Am I right? Let's see what I mean is true or not. I don't think you will change. You don't have time to change to go Cebu. I think maybe tonight the flight to Cebu will be full of people wearing these suits. I think the whole airport will be looking at us. That is how important. Because straight away, by professional looking, you can impress people. When I look at Diane Jema Ang, although she don't have a very good education background, but when she wear in black suits and so on, especially sometimes she put on glasses, she looks so smart. She looks so smart. So I think in order to boost our confidence with our client, outfit is one of the things that we should not ignore. You better put on your makeup. You better present yourself properly, because this career, we have to influence people. A lot of time, my downline asks me, what is the idea behind selling? So I always tell them, actually, we are selling ourselves. We don't sell any product. We sell our thoughts, we sell our idea. People believe you, they will buy. That is why so many people who don't understand this, they keep on asking for a lot of papers. I want this paper. Today I give you all the papers. Do you think they will buy? I don't think so. But you make them believe, or you impress them, influence them to believe your thoughts. I think that is the most important part about selling. So professional image are so important. Some people might not have a good looking body, but their thoughts, what they think, are very positive, are very good thinking. The way you think will become the way you talk. Today, don't blame if you are fat. Don't complain. Don't complain if you don't have a good look, because the next thing that go eat dimple are much, much more important. A lot of people have a lot of complaints about how they look. My nose a bit too big. My cheek a bit low. They don't care about what is inside. Today, there's a lot of successful people who are handicapped. But what inside here are not handicapped. A lot of people today, exteriorly, they are not handicapped, but inside, they are handicapped. The other way around. You ask them to do something, they say, cannot. Study OPP, cannot. So long, 16 pages, how to remember. They give you a lot of reason. But if you give me 1 million peso, I keep in my pocket, and then tomorrow you cannot talk about your OPP, this 1 million will belongs to me. I'm very sure tomorrow you know everything. All right? So they give a lot of excuse. They give a lot of excuse, even before they try. That is how a person think. In Riway, today you want to become successful, you have to be very strong. You have to think about all the good things. You require sufficient knowledge. Today, whatever you do, if you do not have sufficient knowledge, you will be lack of confidence. You don't know what you are talking, and you will be very weak. Become a person that you like to learn a lot of things, not only in Riway environment, but also something beyond Riway. I think why today I learn fast is because I enjoy learning since I was very young. I learned how to cook. I learned how to do gardening. I learned how to keep fish. I learned how to keep dogs. I learned how to keep cats, and so on. I have a lot of hobbies. So by learning, you will have a lot of knowledge, and you will have a lot of topic to talk to your client. Not only restricted to the area. As I say, this career, you need to influence people. Sometimes, occasionally, when I try to convince someone, I only talk very little about Perdia, but I talk a lot about other things. The more you focus on that, sometimes it's very difficult. So you need other things to support, to let the other party trust what you are talking. So become a person who loves to learn, who have a lot of knowledge. Don't once you wear a suit, but the way you talk like a gangster. You know? And there's a lot of vulgar language inside. You know, someone, although they have a very good outlook, but they don't practice their thoughts. And when they speak rubbish thing. So no matter how you wear, people will not trust you. So it is a pair. How you wear and how you think is a combination. If you are able to combine these two things very well, it will work. Just by these two things, I think you will have a lot of difficulties to convince someone. Winning attitude. This is something to do with emotion. In this career, we require a lot of emotional strength. Some of us, have you seen a lot of wild cats in Philippines on the street? You know, today in the society, in order to become successful, we must be like a wild cat. Because they are very strong. No matter what kind of condition, if they are hungry, they will go and look for food. Today, when there's a thunderstorm this morning, if the wild cat is hungry, starving, do you think they will hide inside? Or do you think they will dash out into the storm and look for food? Look for food, exactly. But unfortunately, a lot of people today, they are like Persian cat. Do you know Persian cat? Do you call, not pussy cat, it's Persian cat. Usually Persian cat are kept as a pet. They are very well taken care. You need to put powder, you need to put ribbon, and then so on. So today in our life, in our society, you look around yourself, or sometimes maybe you are the Persian cat. A bit of thing, you cannot take it. Today, a customer reject you. You cannot take it. And your emotion is hurt. It takes so long time for you to recover. You need to rest for 1 week or 2 weeks in order to recover your emotion. We cannot become, if you are like that, then it is very difficult for you to become successful in Riway. Like a Persian cat, if today I let these two cats into the wild, do you think which will survive? The wild cat or the Persian cat? Which means, in order to survive today, you need to be like a wild cat. Do you know that this group of people sitting in front, they are very wild cat. They run into the storm, they dash out, they get hurt, but they keep on going. If today you ask all of them to take out their clothing, it's full of injury. Of course, internally. Don't think their success today comes so easy. There's a lot of injury, a lot of things they have faced in order for them to come to today. If today, if you choose to become a Persian cat, it is very, very hard for you to achieve what they can achieve today. Next, before I go to the next topic, upright practice, I always remember James sharing in one of the events. Winning is not a sometime thing. You don't win once in a while. You don't do things right once in a while. You do it right all the time. Winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. So, to have a winning attitude, not only to have a winning attitude, but you must make it a habit to have a winning attitude. Why is it so important? Do you remember last time when human being wants to go to the moon? They invented rockets. But unfortunately, at that kind of technology, those days, rockets, you can't control. So they have to wait for certain time and certain angle. They will release the rocket, and they will know that at this position, those astronauts will not miss the moon. In any of the calculation, if they go wrong, they miss the moon and they will never be able to come back. So, it was so important. You cannot do it wrong. Once you are wrong, you can never return. So, for winning attitude, you have to equip this. And if you are able to achieve all this, maybe one day, very soon, you will become a Pegasus. Just like this group of people. I don't know whether at the back of you, do you see the chairs? These Pegasus, this Team Elite are sitting are different colors. When you have your break, they are invited to a different room. I remember very long time ago, this kind of situation inspired me a lot. When I sit there, I always keep asking to myself, why this group of people sitting in front, they are sitting in the different color chairs? Why they are going into a different room to have their meal? Because this group of people, they have this winning attitude. The price they pay for will be rewarded. Not very long ago, we have attended a Pegasus night. For those who don't have the chance to attend Pegasus night, I'm sure you have heard about Pegasus night. It's one of the Riway very important event that Mr. Lim will purposely find a location and invite all the Pegasus and their partner to have a dinner together. I attended a few of them. I have very good impression about this Pegasus night. It always let me have this feeling of what I am doing is worthwhile. So, few months ago, we have attended one of the Pegasus night in July, and I would like to share the video with you during this event. We would like to see the Pegasus night in Shanghai. Would you like to join this event? See you next year, July, in Pegasus Night. Make Lim Boon Hong headache. If every one of us become Pegasus, I think Lim Boon Hong will be headache. Because that is the place that Mr. Lim always choose a very special location to gather every one of us, just to spend a night. You know, last time I do not have a winning attitude. This is something that I learned in Riway. I always feel I was okay. Why should I work so hard sometimes? Why should I keep on going? I could be very tired. But after I come into Riway, I start to have this winning attitude. It brought me into the success. That means we changed in Riway environment. I was not like today. James mentioned that I own a Rolls Royce, I buy a Rolls Royce. It was in an occasion. Why do I have this idea to buy that car? Honestly, on that day, I remember when I spent the money for a Rolls Royce and my house, my bank is zero. It cost me so much money. And in Japan, we are not allowed to have any loan. So everything have to be paid cash. So that two things make my bank account empty. But what Jada said was very true. Why am I willing to do that? Because I'm very sure the next few months, this money will come back. I'm so sure that this money will come back. That's why I dare to empty my bank. So, passive income in Riway is not a lie. It's not a joke. It happened. It happened. It was during one of the events, sitting next to me was Simon Wong. Do you know Simon Wong? Very successful, very top leader, one of the pioneers in whole of Riway. So, in an occasion, he was sitting beside me, and I asked Simon Wong this question because a lot of people know that Simon Wong owns a Rolls Royce. I asked Simon Wong, after you joined Riway, when did you bought this car? So Simon Wong told me 3 years later. So I said, oh, my goodness, at that time, Riway was so difficult. How can you afford to do this in 3 years? After listening that, when I get home, in my whole image, I start to think about Rolls Royce every day. Although I don't know how much a Rolls Royce costs. And I start to share in OMPIN, OPP, that I will buy a Rolls Royce. And everyone was laughing at me. They thought it was a joke. And until I convinced them that I will buy, and they believe I will buy, I still have no idea how much this thing costs. So I keep thinking because I want to be like Simon Wong to achieve this kind of thing. But today you ask me, do I actually like Rolls Royce? I think men like me prefer sports car. Right? Usually those people who drive Rolls Royce are uncle. Yes. Oh man. Jada, you say, yes, I look like uncle. But the thing is, I don't care actually what the thing is. I want to achieve something. I want to learn to become a winner attitude so I can keep on going. I can keep on going. And I practice this attitude every day until today. This Faith was asking me just now in early this morning, William, why you look so relaxed? I say, I don't know why I'm so relaxed. Actually, I try to relax because I often see there was one event, a top leaders meeting in New Zealand. Dr. Lim was sharing, and something happened, very big happened in Riway. A phone rang, something goes wrong with Malaysia, and then after the phone, Dr. Lim still keep on talking. I think a man like him face a lot of big problem, much bigger problem than us. And yet, he can be so relaxed and continue what he want to talk. So during this period, I'm trying to think what this guy have to make him like this. So I try to pretend I am relaxed. Well, imitate first, right? Of course, even we don't have the quality, we imitate first. I believe one day, after years of imitation, then I will talk like Lim Boon Hong someday. So you see, the NDO works. Although it looks so simple, but it works if you just follow. Upright practice. What is upright practice? Today, we can make money in different ways. You sell firearm, you can make money. You sell drugs, you can make money. Human being is the only thing among the animal who have these thoughts to differentiate between what should you do and what you shouldn't do. We are not animal. We know what is right and what is wrong. That's why we must be very sure what we are doing right now, is it correct or wrong? The more you share, do you think you help a lot of people? So you are very confident of what you're doing is right. If you are that confident, we should give ourselves all out to do this thing very right. This topic has been going on some time, the 5 principles. Mr. Lim have made this 5 principles one of the most important things in this NDO criteria. Because if you violate, we call this principle, that means you cannot challenge this. If you challenge this, something will go wrong. We have to follow exactly what these 5 carry. We cannot make any mistake among these. No negatively downwards. That means don't spread all the negative force downwards to your downline. It will never benefit. I know some of you have a lot of complaints and so on. Your downline are not willing to do this, and sometimes even worse, you tell bad thing about this downline to the other downline. You keep on comparing all your downlines. You cannot control your emotion. You start to grumble. You start to move all your bad, negative thoughts downwards. In Riway, never do this. It will never benefit you. Or sometimes maybe you have some good ideas. Good idea, we advise you to share with your leaders. You can bring out your good ideas. Maybe sometimes your idea is not that good. But you still share. Who knows? Maybe your idea is good, so your upline might use it. But give your upline some time Maybe if you have a good idea and you start to share with your upline, and your upline didn't react it so fast, don't be angry. Give them some time, because your upline is very busy. They have a lot of things to handle. Doesn't mean that today you give them one idea, he have to react tomorrow. No crossing line. No crossing of sight line. Some of you might think this is not important. Why we can't cross line? I have the same hobby with the other party. Why we can't cross? We can share other things. If there's no need to cross line that much. Reason to be, of course, at the moment when you look at this, nothing is wrong. But when the teams develop, it will become out of control. Something bad will happen if you cross line and you start to have discussion about leaders. This is one of the very important problems in network marketing. When you start to cross line, things bad start to happen more than good things. Do you agree? No momentary dispute. In Riway, especially in network, in Philippines, I don't know. There's a lot of dispute about money. Today when we do business, we have to do it very clean. We don't have a lot of trouble after we do a business. When there is money dispute, we cannot carry on. There are so many arguments. Just like selling cheap on the internet. Do you notice people complain? Usually people complain. I saw this selling cheap in the internet and so on. A lot of the leaders, even the leaders sometimes complains. Jada have made it very clear. None of them success in Riway. They thought that by selling cheap, because who joined Riway today, we don't know. It is a career, it is a place, industry that there's no discipline. Anyone can join in. Anyone can become a leader, a member today. And they might be doing a traditional business before. They thought that by selling cheap, they can become successful. They use their thoughts of the way of doing and bring it to Riway. A lot of network seminar, a lot of people are trying to avoid problem, but not Riway. We dare to talk about this kind of problem here because this is the only way to solve this problem is to educate. And that's why Riway have so many training seminar like this. It is a chance for us to educate ourselves why this thing is wrong. Because if you sell cheap online, it became a very unfair environment. You are hurting this industry. And Riway will pay a very high price to solve this problem. Not only Riway, a lot of us will pay a lot of high price to solve this problem. You make the industry so bad. And if you think you can sell 500 sets by selling cheap online, then I think you should sell at the original price. You will be very rich. Why should you sell cheap? If you are able to sell 500 sets a month, why should you sell cheap? I really don't understand. But trust me, Riway are putting a lot of effort on this point. Don't think you can escape. I know our compliance are strong. But as a leader, you shouldn't stop because of this problem. Today, you look at Riway sales. The problem we have is actually very small. Very, very small. When a few days ago, a downline showed me, I don't know what is the site called. So I saw, hey, only 15. Lazada, Shopee. But to him, it's a lot. He said, William said, you see, everywhere. I say, it's only 15. Only 15. Why? Because sometimes you have to manage. Today, Riway sales are so much, but the problem we have is just like this. If you are a leader, don't think that we are in big trouble. It's actually very, very small. The problem with this, as long there's commission, this thing will forever exist. 4 years ago, when I joined Riway, this already happened. After 2 years, it keep on happening until today it happened. I think 2 years later, it will still happen. It will happen every day because if we caught one, tomorrow another new member come in, they will do the same thing. It will keep on going. So I have this, honestly, last time there was a period I felt very down with this problem too. But today when I look at this, the same problem, but I don't feel anything. Why? The same problem, but the feeling inside me are different. I think I have grown. During still exactly the same problem, but the feeling you have before and now are different. Meaning that you grow. No? So don't be stopped by all these things. Riway have actually handled this very well. Trust our compliance. And those people who have this idea of selling online, you should have changed your mind. I hope you should have changed your mind by now, because those people who sell online, I don't think they can become a true leader, or they can achieve passive income in their career. No relation dispute. Of course, when in Riway 5 principle, we talk about no relation dispute. It doesn't mean that we are not supposed to have girlfriend or boyfriend relation. We are not monk. Meaning that we should not have bad conduct related to affair. I know guys are very weak on this. Try. Try. When you found someone that doesn't belong to you, you shouldn't have. Don't start anything. Because once you start, they will have a lot of problems that's going to come up. When you look at others people's wife, don't look like a, keep on moving up like a scanner. Control yourself. Control yourself. Because once you have all this involved, it won't have a happy ending. You will create a lot of trouble amongst other people's family. Don't touch other people's husband. Now I know the man and the lady are fair. The guy cannot control. I believe the woman also cannot control. The same thing goes to women. So in Riway, we must make this thing very clear. You are here to win. You are not here to lose. Why should you go into this kind of mistake if this thing can actually damage your career? Don't even start. Don't even start. So, I hope people today, we are spending so much time sitting down here. I'm very glad that I come back to Philippines, honestly. Although I'm not a local here. Long time ago, I actually want to leave these places. When I begin to do, I face a lot of difficulties building up a Filipino team. Because I'm non-local. So communication-wise, thought-wise, there's still so much things. So at that time, I met Ted. Do you know this guy, Ted? Ted Tan? I was complaining to him, I want to build team in Japan since 3 years ago. So he gave me a lot of reasons. And I recall one person in my life, which is a Filipino in my life. That was my mate. One of my mate in Singapore. She is one of the very good person I met in my life. And taking care of my mother and so on for 6 years plus. Very humble, very well educated. But I was very sad. I say, why you don't go back to your country? I keep asking her because it was time for her to get married. 26 plus. I think it's a very important period about a woman. So she said, so if I go back, I don't have a job. Very hard to find a job in Israel. So that's why there are so many Filipino in overseas. So when I thought about this lady, something came back. I think if I'm a Filipino, I wish I would create a place that all my citizens can come back and stay in their own country. Because I think Filipino lacks a lot of opportunity. So that's why they are forced to work overseas, unwillingly. I don't know what I can do in Philippines, but at that period of time, actually these women make me have the idea to stay in Philippines and try something. And that was a very personal story I shared with Diane J. Maang during that time. So I say, we should do something in Philippines since she had been living here for so many years. I say, this is something that we can do. If we achieve, we might one day change a lot of things in Philippines. So really today event, actually I feel very touched. Something, those kind of thoughts we have with Diane J. Maang few years back, even when there's no office here. Things start to change. We see the changes. And there are more and more local people coming out. And I believe from today onwards, the changes will be very huge, even 10 times, 100 times better than today. And someday, all the Filipinos overseas might come back and stay in their country. Although I think it's a very difficult task we can achieve. It's not easy to achieve. But with every effort we do today, if we are willing to make the changes, if we are willing to pick up this, I think every one of us in this room can actually change a country. There is so much we can do. And also change your pocket. Recently, I was sharing with LTS, we are always talk about health. Health is important. I asked them, actually, why health is important? Health is important because we want to live longer, right? That is the reason why we want health, to live longer. Why wealth is important? Because we want to live a quality life. So that's why wealth is important. I think these two things troubles everyone in the world, wealth and health. In this platform, Riway can solve these two problems. I go to Japan, the Japanese have these two problems also. I go to Singapore, Singapore also have these two. Everywhere I go, they have this exactly. I was very happy that today I'm part of Riway, because this platform can solve these two problems that everyone has. So, do you think, is there any other business that's better than this? It's very hard to find a business that's better than this. Yes. Huh? You already witnessed changes. Right. Huh? All the leaders sitting in front, they are enjoying passive income. You already see changes. Don't wait too long. I always think that Riway have come to a stage that with or without me, I think Riway will still become big. It's not Riway today become big. It's not I exist or Diane exists or any one of us exists. With or without us, I think Riway will become big. So do you want to get involved in this business, since it will become big? Yes. Get involved and make some big changes for your own country. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I end today's talk.